Oh, it's on now. Is it coming from this thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh. Oh, it's on now.
Three viewers.
Is it coming from this thing? Ooh. Oh, that's right. We're gonna be trying.
Yes, you be directing everybody.
All right.
Wait, what are we doing more? Oh,
All right.
Okay, Jackie, where's Jackie?
Who's making that noise?
Jackie, here. Jackie, Kaylee, find your place. Okay, you.
Is that your name?
Okay. Jackie, come here. I don't know if Alec is coming, I'm gonna ask him. We're gonna hand the cherry rug to people when they're talking.
Is it backwards?
No, Dr.Bellas, it's backwards. You can't see it.
Okay, somebody get that, say his name. We don't know.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Monkey's Basement. It's like calling out and telling them what they want. Sorry.
Yes? Guys, move all this stuff out.
They don't answer.
Who's?
You're live. Just
Who wants a dum-dum?
Me, Ryan. Put your backpack over there.
Can't really do anything to stop it.
Let's also not forget you're on YouTube Live right now.
Hi.
Absolutely. Let's keep in mind that you're representing yourself and the school.
People have to be created a load of treated as citizen destruction.
All right.
We're getting ready.
Instead of Taylor, if they're not here, Taylor's in this class.
Yes.
No, it's okay. No, stay, everybody stay. Everybody stay, everybody stay. Quiet, thank you. Thank you. Everybody sit down. Thank you. No talking. Excuse me. Hey. Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see each and every one of you. Okay. Are we almost ready? Yeah. Okay. Yes, you may.
Is your audio on?
Okay. Where is,
Yeah,
Weren't you in?
Turn it up though.
Take a seat. Go ahead, take a seat. Julia, if you like, go ahead. Okay. Hello. Where's Levi? Okay, we're gonna, so do you have your notes? Do you have your notes? Okay. Participants, do you have your, Julia, do you have your notes?
Yes.
Come on in. Quickly.
I can find my
You
notes,
have your
but
notes? Well, get them. Hold on.
I think they can hear us better with this.
All right. Okay, everybody have their notes? Kelly, you're in? All right. All right, thank you, Julia. Okay. Don't sit there, Kelly is sitting there. Julia, Kelly is sitting there. Okay. Hi, Alex. All right, Julia's there, okay. Good. All right, we're almost ready. Hey, Woodlands, are you there? You hear us? Now. Okay. Ms. Feinberg, are you there? Guys, in just a moment, we're gonna shut that door over there. Ryan, if you're here, sit down. I'll tell you what, you go to the door, get a chair, and get ready to shut that door, okay? All right. Where's your backpack?
oh, very.
Okay,
Yeah, we're on.
yes, all right. Hello? Ms. Feinberg, are you there? Okay, really distracted. First of all, I'd like to welcome Miss Sigalakis from our school district who's coming here to watch this. Hello, good, all right. Okay, we're missing two people, okay? Who is missing?
Kayla and Jackie. Wait,
Kayla?
Kayla will be coming.
And who's the other name there?
Kayla said she might come.
Okay, Mike is not good enough,
Kayla will
all right?
after around dinner.
Okay? I thought you were going in. Oh, now you're getting a little nervous.
I'm not gonna be on YouTube, Dr.Bellas. My hair is not done.
Your hair is not done. Okay?
Oh my God,
Okay. Good enough, good enough, good enough. All right, now,
Good thing is, it's like all girls, and there's one boy.
and I thought Levi was coming. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we are about to begin. Jackie, are you in or out?
You're late, Chief.
Okay,
No one's at that lunch, so.
okay. Miss Sigalakis, today is one of those strange days when 200 of our students are on a field trip. So, Ryan, you know what? I asked you in the nicest way. Thank you. Get a chair, sir. Get a chair. Find a chair. All right. Is all you can hear us? Miss Feinberg.
Our school. One in the front here. Blonde hair. And the I don't know her name.
Okay. Excuse me. My students, Alex. Okay. Please back up that way. Everybody's over there. Okay. All right. Everybody ready? I have a short statement. Do you hear me? Does everybody hear me? Okay.
Can you hear us?
Dr.Bellas. Today, we will engage in a Socratic Seminar between two 8th grade LA classes from 2 schools connected by the Google Hangouts Live technology provided by the Trailblazer Initiative here at the school district office. The subject is Mary Wollstonecraft Godwin Shelley's 19th century masterpiece, Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus. Participants, keep a few things in mind.
They're talking through you, so they can't hear
They
you.
can't hear you.
Can you hear us?
Just run.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, run, tuck walk. No.
People in the back, close your mouth.
Excellent.
Okay, everybody, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, everybody, a Socratic Seminar is collective inquiry with using open-ended questions to arrive at a deeper understanding of the text for all involved. This is not a debate. This is student-led dialogue. Instead of raising hands, speak to one another in dialogue. If you are unclear about a claim, ask the claimant to clarify. Please refer to specific text to support your answers. You may use your books or your Cornell notes. Speak clearly with enough volume in order to be heard. Now, everybody listen carefully. This is largely a student-led activity. What that means is Ms. Feinberg and I will do our best not to interfere too much. It's very important. Keep the dialogue going. Be an active listener. Be respectful. Please try to use the text. Please be, again, respectful, cooperative, collaborative, ask questions, and most of all, have a good time. Now, I have 10 questions in here. I'm going to hand this to, we have a head. Our head student is Miss Kelly Pham. She'll be in charge on our side. Who's in charge over there? I'm going to hand this off to Kelly. We're going to pick, we have 10 questions in here. We're going to start off. Pick one. Okay.
I mean, he isn't.
You're a great guy.
All right.
I know what I'm doing.
All right. The first question has been decided. Who is the actual monster in the story?
So who wants to take it first? Who is the actual monster in the story of our voluntold tables?
I think the actual monster was the monster because he killed a whole bunch of people. Granted that it was because, he was angry and upset at the fact that, Victor refused to make his bride. It didn't justify the fact of killing, William, Justine, Elizabeth, and, all those other people that, really didn't have anything to do with it.
Thank you. Joe.
I think Victor is the real monster.
Well, you gotta get more than that.
Robbery.
It doesn't matter.
You don't need
It's just the.
Victor is the real monster because the monster was created by Victor. So who's the real monster at the end of the story because he created it? Just what he did.
I believe that the
Will you say something?
I believe that the real monster in the story is Victor because all of his crimes are kind of like directly. It was his fault for
I can't hear you.
Okay. I believe that Victor was. I believe that Victor is the actual monster in the story because he created the monster, and it was his fault for going in with his plan to seek this taboo.
Yes, I agree too.
Alright.
Okay.
Discuss nature versus nurture and how it applies to the creature.
What did he say? Describe nature versus.
Question. Let's stay with the same question.
Nature versus nurture and how it applies to the creature.
Let's have a few more. Let's have a few more comments on the same question.
I agree with Kelly because Victor is the only reason why all of this drama started. Had it created the creature, there would have been all of the conflict, and then yeah, Victor would have been alive if that was upon himself for creating.
Oh my god!
Can you let them know to
Oh, that's perfect. Go speak. Now the next question, please.
Can't hear.
hear you guys? Sorry, try again.
Next question.
We can't hear. Try again.
Next question. Please move on to the next question.
Say your question. Say the first one. Yeah.
Okay. Discuss nature versus nurture and how it applies to the creature.
You did not understand the question.
Nature versus nurture and how it applies to the creature.
Okay, go.
Discuss nature versus nurture and how it applies to the creature.
Go. 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 Nature versus nurture.
Nature and how does it apply to creature? Nature is like environment, and nurture is like.
Oh, I thought you said nature versus nature, not nature.
Okay, the question is nature versus nurture and the
How it
creature.
applies to the creature.
How does it apply to the creature? Go.
Does nobody know?
Well, they want us to
So you explain what does nurture mean? Was he made that? Was he born that way? Or did he come that way? So did creature, guys? Did creature was creature born violent, or did he become violent?
violent because
Oh,
Okay, Betsy, yeah. Go, Betsy.
Go. Louder.
I think that creature became violent because after all that he's been through, like he didn't have a family growing up, he never had a childhood like all of us did. He never really had like someone to love him or someone to love. And like he's like watching his family grow up, Linda Lacey, right? Yeah. And so he was like, he wanted that. So he like started having like anger in himself. And I blame Victor for this because I never asked to be born. And like Victor was like, you know, Victor thought he was the monster too. Like, there's two monsters in this story. It's Victor and the other monster. But like, the monster became violent because of what he's been through in his life, or his life.
Does anybody have a rebuttal?
I agree with
Just
her.
respond if you agree. And
Or, yeah, if you agree, you disagree. Christabel's got one.
You
First
asked
one,
the
pass it
question.
down.
No, you asked
Pass
the
it down.
question.
Hurry up, let's go.
I agree with what you said.
Why?
I agree with what you said because the creature wasn't really born evil because he didn't ask to be born. And throughout the story, he was watching the cottagers and how like, you know, they were prejudiced towards him when he actually had the courage enough to went in and spoke to them. Yeah, that's fine, I think.
Anyone else want to add anything on? Just raise your hand. We'll pass the microphone to you. I know my kids, you guys can all answer this question.
To add to that, the monster, like, he became evil after he basically begged Victor to create him a bride, but Victor refused. He started building it, but like right in front of him, he tore it apart. And so I think that fueled his anger, which caused him to, you know, like kill his family and everyone that he loved. And, you know, even towards the end, he kind of showed remorse, towards, you know, his creator. And he even, you know, basically kind of committed suicide, you know, jumping off the ship and on a block of ice and like floating away towards the end of the book. So that's why I think that he became evil and he wasn't born evil because, you know, Victor basically fueled his anger because of his actions.
Anybody else on nature versus nurture? Anybody else on nature versus nurture?
We're moving on to the next question.
Thanks, Callie. We have 4 viewers. Hey, Dr.Bellas, can I get
It's the same question. Who is the actual monster?
Y'all can't put the same ones in there.
Okay, don't put it back.
Go to
Okay,
it.
hold
She
it.
has it in her hand. Kelly has them.
What? We got another.
There's nothing to shake on it. Yes, there
You hold it.
What responsibilities did
What?
Victor, as the creator, have for this monster?
Stupid, you just read it. You don't have to answer it.
I know, but like, okay, the responsibility that Victor had was to like.
No, you have to say the
Read the question.
Oh. Okay, it says, what responsibilities did Victor, as the creator, have toward his creation?
Did you understand the question?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I think his responsibilities would have been at least like, since he was rejected multiple times and he felt a whole bunch of pain throughout his life because no one ever wanted him, and anyone that ever did witness like him, like looked at him, would scream out of fear because of how horrible he looked. And he just never knew what love was because Victor had abandoned him, and everyone that he ever tried to open up to never even wanted to look at him. So I think he failed. That means, yeah, he didn't do what he should have done as a creator.
I agree with that because as the monster's creator, Victor was endowed to like introducing him to the world and its basics as a mother would teach his child. Victor was responsible for how Frankenstein would adapt to the world around him. Oh, yeah, the monster.
FYI, Ms. Clark's class, you're next.
Could you repeat the question again?
What responsibilities did Victor as a creator have towards his creation?
Well, he was supposed to teach him the basics of life, basically. But after seeing what he created, after basically 2 years, he just ran away from it, and he had to learn all these things by himself and observe everything around him in order to figure out what he is and how he even looked like. And that's why throughout the whole, and he actually ended up learning about what love is, but really never experienced it. And throughout the whole story, he was trying to figure out, like, he wanted someone to love him. And yeah. To add to what you guys are saying, I think that Victor failed as his creator, and toward the end of the book, he even kind of implied it on his deathbed. He was saying that he wasn't there for him, and that's why he felt like it was his fault that William and Justine died, because he wasn't there for him when he should have been, and he didn't really, like she said, he didn't really introduce him to the basics of life, of living. So that's why when he went out and people were basically throwing rocks at him and beating him, he didn't understand it, because Victor never taught him that, because he looks different, he's going to be treated differently. He wasn't taught about prejudice, and he wasn't, even though he felt like, he was just a normal person, he with feelings, people didn't see that, and so he was never taught that, he was never taught that. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think that in Victor's eyes, the monster was just a science project that had moved on.
How do you know this?
Because girl, shut up.
It was basically a failed experiment.
No, monster. He didn't realize that it was an actual life that he was bringing. Until a whole bunch of tragedies happened and deaths were caused. It was just a science project gone wrong.
Adding on to what Sylvan said, he didn't understand that the creature was gonna have a brain for himself and be able to understand emotions. So then when he neglected the creature got upset and then did all those bad things. So yeah.
What bad things did he do?
Do you want to the next question?
Yeah, move on, sure.
No, back on these last two tables. We're gonna have a discussion as it always might. Yeah.
Feel genuine remorse for his actions.
Daniel, we don't need to stop going on us. Yeah, I don't know why you keep doing it.
Say it one more time.
Does the creature feel genuine remorse for his actions?
Say it again.
Does the creature feel genuine remorse for his actions?
Does the creature feel remorse for his actions? Well, not initially. He does towards the end.
He does. He wanted.
Who has the?
Yes.
Basically, yes and no, because creature, after Victor's death, he realized he shouldn't have done that. And no, because whatever happened to Creature, just made him angry and just felt remorse at the end. But towards when he was doing all these bad things, he didn't feel any remorse.
I mean, I agree with you, because in the beginning, when he killed his first victim, he did it out of revenge. But towards the end, when Victor died, he realized that Victor was the only person that like knew him, and he was alone in the world. So I guess that's why he like killed himself.
Yeah. Okay, so. Oh yeah, okay. So towards the beginning, when he like the first people that he killed, it made him happy because he wanted Victor to experience all the pain that he had been experiencing, and the loneliness. So then, but towards the end, he kind of felt bad about it because he realized, yeah, that he should have done it, and yeah, he felt bad.
Like Kylie said, he does feel remorse. Like in the beginning, he was very angry at Victor because Victor wouldn't create another female being for him. And in the book, he gives 5 reasons why he shouldn't create, like he should destroy the creature. And the 5 reasons that I could remember was the creature could repopulate, like, and have offspring, and like create a whole new beings. Another reason was the female probably won't be into the creature. She might be into humans. Yeah, he feels remorse. Sorry.
Go.
Yeah, he feels remorse.
Do you have anything else to say?
Do you have to speak up? If someone's like nothing to do, you have to like say
Here's a new
you have to ask.
New question.
New question. Did Victor, when he agreed to make the companion,
What?
One
Wait,
more.
try again.
Speak clearly.
did Victor make the correct decision when he agreed to make the companion?
Did Victor make the correct decision once he agreed to make the decision?
He agreed when he destroyed it.
Yeah, I believe he thought he would.
I do not think that he made the right decision while agreeing to make the monster because he ended up destroying it in the first place because he figured out that if he did make another monster and the first monster, the male, like didn't follow up on his word by going out off into the distance and like leaving humanity behind, then there would have been like a ton of chaos, and there probably would have been like a lot of violence, a lot more people dying, and yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, why should I make the same mistake again after I already created the first creature?
You make okay.
I think so. Victor didn't agree to make the picture, and the man saw him destroy it.
Put your hands off the microphone.
In front of the microphone? Yeah, it blocks it from us hearing it. Act like you're wearing it on your neck. Hold it right where it would be on your neck.
No, closer.
There you go.
Well, if Victor didn't agree to make the second creature, then the first creature wouldn't have seen him like destroy it. And that's what really angered the second creature. I mean, the first creature to like really like get extremely mad to the point where he was like, basically,
Your viewpoint. You're saying if he
and the first creature wouldn't have gotten as mad as he did, like
being destroyed. But then that means that the creature was following Victor from the beginning, so they have
So should he have followed through or not?
We should.
See Malcolm.
I can't hear you.
Switch camera.
We can't hear you guys.
Oh, well, I thought, okay. I think that he should have followed through with his word because when the monster had asked Victor to create a bride, he agreed to it and it was kind of like a deal and he backed out of that deal and he didn't follow through with it. And I feel like his actions are kind of what caused the rest of the deaths, because if he had just built the bride and trusted the monster that they would go off and just live in isolation together, then Elizabeth could still be alive. His father could possibly be alive, and even he could still be alive and not have to worry about the monster and his creation. Because, if you think about it, him asking for a partner, the monster asking for a partner is really not that, it's really not that big because, on the downside, it could have a bad reaction. Like they could, just start, terrorizing the towns and the villages together. But at the same time, if he had just trusted him, maybe they could have lived in isolation and everything could have been fine. Victor could have lived a happy life and just forgotten about the monster, and they could have lived in peace.
So going back to what she said, you said something about like the monster seeing that he destroyed his partner. I think he would have still gotten revenge anyways, even if he didn't agree to making the bride.
Can't hear you.
Now can you? All right. I agree and disagree because I've lost my train of thought again. Very nice.
Are you guys asking the question?
We've been on the same question for like 5 minutes.
We're not passing it around. Somebody say their response.
We have another question. We have another one.
Okay, we have another question.
You'll read the question?
All right, here's the next question.
Bring the microphone back up here. Let me say it, and I'll bring it back up.
Here's the question. How does this book apply to society in today's world?
Oh, you got back there.
This applies to society because many parents can leave their kids and abandon them, leaving them to do bad things or harm others at school or in like the public. It can lead them to foster homes and asking for parents and just hopping from house to house or like hurting people like the monster did and just creating harm in the world by a parent leaving them and abandoning them.
And another way the book applies to society is how everyone is prejudiced against the monster's appearance, and how people can just profile people depending on how they look and their actions, even though that might not completely describe who they are as a person.
Wow. All right. Wonderful, guys.
Another book is like applies to society is like revenge isn't always the answer. Like sometimes it might be, but most of the time oh yeah, revenge might feel like the best way to deal with situations, but sometimes you just need to talk. Like Victor and the creature only had like a few conversations. Most of the time they're like not physically like fighting with their words. And after a while, like I guess what they said they got to their heads. That can really like set them off with different things. I got one. I got one.
All right. Another point I would like to bring up for this question is technological advancement, because this entire story is possible if someone were to create a living form similar to that of a human. Yeah, with technology is advancing.
Yeah, like
We have genetic.
Like you mean like clones?
Okay, can I see it? Technological advances.
Okay, I think that nowadays what people say and like actions that happen towards one person really can affect them, and in society nowadays no one really understands that, and especially coming from like a parent, like a creator, it's much worse and on the kid. It's like much harder on the kid because yeah, being pushed around by your peers is one thing, but even by your parent is another, and that's what people don't really understand nowadays. Is that
Another way this book contributes to society today is that people can be just very good at some points and very bad at some points. When Creature was describing how the Delecies were living and that society was that way, and I believe get the name. Never mind. But just when they're
Don't interrupt him.
Alright. So yeah.
Do you guys have anything you want to add, or do you want to move on?
We can move on.
Let's move on.
I guess we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
Let's move on.
Wait, do they have questions?
Are we still on that?
Okay, do you guys have any questions?
Yes. Were the creature's actions justified? Does he believe he is justified?
Justified or unjustified?
Well, you depends on which perspective you're taking it from. Because from Victor's perspective, it's not justified. But from the creatures, it is.
Number three, were the creature's actions justified? Does he believe is justified? He says because of the perspective.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then it's your turn. Your turn to comment on the question.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
go. Yeah,
Shayla has something. Go. If you have the answer, you're going to speak in it and answer the question.
So I believe that it doesn't really matter whose perspective it is, that killing people doesn't justify for any sort of problem or reason to do so.
Have to go that one further away.
No matter what perspective it is, killing innocent people is still not like it's not right. Even like from Victor's point, you could see that he can't really control his emotions that well, and the monster is just like from Victor's point, he can't really control his emotions that well, and from the monster's point, he's just trying to get revenge on Victor, but in the leading to that, he just ends up killing his whole entire family, and they weren't involved in the situation in the first place.
Yeah, so I think the creature was really sensitive. So I don't think that because he was killing innocent people, I don't think that justifies his actions. But I do think that it would have been more justifiable, I guess, had he taken it out like directly to Victor, because Victor did. Yeah.
He's still killing people.
I mean.
Well, look at his comments and tell me
It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what the situation is. Killing is killing. Like, it doesn't matter what way you try to, change it, turn it, it's still killing, it's still wrong. Now, is it justified that he's mad and he's upset? Absolutely. Like, he has a right to be upset, but does he have the right to kill Victor's family and go around killing people because of it? Or even him? No, I don't think that that's justified. Had he gone about it a different way, I think that it would have been a completely different, scenario, a completely different outcome.
I think. Okay, I think Frankenstein. I think Creature has his actions were justified because it's Victor's fault that he doesn't have a family, and he's jealous. That's really naive to say that. I'll leave that
I think that from the monster's point of view, he does not think his actions are justified, but he can't help himself from killing people because he has so many emotions he can't control all of them.
Yeah. We never, we understand that, yes, obviously taking another life is never okay and nothing will ever justify that. But at the same time, look at what Victor has done to to deserve all the pain that he went through. Think about what happened to Monster and his past and what led him up to the murders of the loved ones of Victor. We're not saying that he never justified, but what happened up to it.
Okay, are you guys ready for the next question?
I think I understand your point, but at the same, but if you think about it, yes, Victor may have created him, and yes, Victor may have, abandoned him, but it was the people that had, done this to make him angry. And I think that although he believes, the monster believes that his actions were justified because of the fact that, he was mistreated by his creator and the people, and, even though he didn't really do anything, but at the same time, it doesn't, it's like the laws today. Like, it doesn't matter if someone
Okay, I have a question for you guys. Since you specifically think that killing, like in general, no matter what the case, is unjustified, what if Victor had successfully killed the creature? Would that still be unjustified?
Okay, but the thing is, do you want to answer? Wait, were you asking me?
And you think killing's unjustified? Or
Because Victor would have killed the monster, it would have been justified because the monster would have killed a bunch of people before. So that would have given Victor the right to kill the monster. The monster couldn't kill anyone else. So you're saying that because since the monster has killed a whole bunch of people on Victor's side, that it's okay that if Victor would have murdered the monster? But I thought you said that killing period is not justifiable. Do you think it would have been the same?
I don't think that, like, even if Frankenstein killed the monster, that wouldn't be justified because that's still murder. That's, like, still not right, even if Frankenstein killed a bunch of people before that. Yeah, I know.
He didn't just
If he had killed the monster, though. It's not justified for anyone to kill anybody, but it wasn't right for Victor Frankenstein to make the monster in the first place. And since he made it and all the harm was caused because of the monster, then if he feels like he has to stop it, then he would stop it.
So just because the monster was created doesn't give him the right to kill people on Victor's side. So because of that, even by law, I'm gonna say he was already committing murder, which made him a criminal.
okay, so what I asked was, if Victor had successfully killed the creature who killed like half of his family, would that still be, or all of his family basically, would that still be unjustified? Because y'all are saying that so if someone kills all of your family, would you think killing them is still unjustified?
I think it's justified.
I think it's justified too.
Yeah, me too.
because it's like an eye for an eye. Exactly. Exactly what it is.
So for the it doesn't make it justified to kill the monster, but if something
Next question.
Okay, the creature literally did the worst thing anyone could possibly do. Kill all of your family and friends. So what scenario could be worse than that would justify killing people if that does?
That's like saying today, like, you should never take the law. Okay, granted that he did kill all of his family. He did kill all of his family. Like, saying that if he killed all of his family, do you think that it's justified? Is that what you're asking?
I'm asking if Victor was to kill the monster, would that still be unjustified?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give this to her, and then I'll
So I think it's something or someone is causing a lot of destruction and people are being killed for it. I think you have to put a stop to someone or to something that is making all the problems. So by any means.
Right, you gotta kill them, so it's justified. Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to the
If a parent gives up their kid the way that Victor gave up the creature, the kid doesn't have to go after their parent to kill them, even if they're very mad.
But if there was a person who killed all of your family members, wouldn't you, like, and the only way to stop them was to kill them? Like, you're not gonna talk to him and be like, hey, creature, I don't like that you're killing my family members. Can you please stop? Like, I know I didn't do what you asked me to, and I know I neglected you.
Okay.
My family members.
Okay, let's bring this if this were today. If this happened today, let's say a serial killer killed your wife.
Okay, fine.
I know, I'm trying to think. So let's say somebody like in today killed your family. You shouldn't take Victor killing the monster, again, like I'm saying, isn't completely justified, but it makes sense because that's like saying today if someone were to be put on the death penalty for killing like 10 people.
Justified because
It's not right, but at the same time, you know, if you have to stop the problem.
Right, so it is justified if Victor killed the creature, correct? I just want a yes or no answer, because I feel like y'all are like, well, in today's world, this and this and this. I just want a yes or no.
Not a yes or no. It's not a yes or no answer. There's no yes or no.
It's either yes, if he was to kill the creature, it would be okay. Or no, if he killed the creature, it would not be okay.
What you're asking me is not a yes or no.
I hope you know the creature is like indestructible. Someone killed all your family, and you're mourning. You gotta kill them. Period. Like you're not gonna let someone walk. You're not gonna let someone walk free.
I think at this point we're all just gonna have to agree to disagree. On to the next question.
Oh.
Please, thank you.
It's done.
We're done. Next question. Next question. It's
Which one is it? Nature as a character.
This is really big.
Bye.
The question is, talk about nature as a character in the novel.
What's the question?
Talk about nature as a character in the novel.
What is it? Could you repeat it, please?
Talk about nature as a character in the novel.
Talk about nature, like as a character.
Guys, I'll go first.
A quick question. Do you mean nature as in like a physical being or a trait?
Don't come back.
Okay, so I think that nature as a character would be like, nature had like a calming effect on Victor and the creature, so it's kind of like one of the only things that they had in common other than being the creator and the createe, I guess. So both of them, when they were in the mountains, they had an enjoyable time, at least like until, creature went into the house or whatever, but they were both able to kind of retreat in the mountains and enjoy themselves there and kind of collect their thoughts. So if nature was a character, I feel like they would be like a friend in common with the both of them. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. What say you?
Provided by like the lightning strike, then he was provided by nature, and nature basically helped him be made. I don't know how to say that in like a character form, but it also contributed to him being alive.
Nature is the creator.
So nature is the creator.
Partly the creator. I'm not doing it again. I'm not about to start anything else.
I think if nature was a character, nature would be the character.
Nature's not a character.
Well, if nature was a character, that's the question.
They're talking the nature of the character. Like,
No, it is a character.
Yeah.
Nature
So,
is a character.
if nature is a character, how do you think, like, what
No,
about
nature is a character.
A character. Nature will be the one to nurture him and love him because if you read the story at the beginning, nature was really the one that showed him any love, basically.
Because it gave him water.
Yeah, it gave him water, gave him food, shelter, all that different type of stuff, and also teach them about like the world.
Yeah, so nature kind of took Victor's place in taking care of the creature in a way. Okay, are we moving on to the next question? Okay.
There you go. Take that. I'm done.
Are we moving on?
The term karma as it applies to Victor taking on the role of the creator.
What? Go. Go.
Discuss the term karma as it applies to Victor taking on the role of creator.
I can't hear you.
Discuss the term karma as it applies to Victor taking on the role of creator.
Is it karma?
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Like maybe something good happens to you. That's
You guys are good.
We got so much. Bro, I won that. Okay,
We did.
You won it, I finished it.
There was karma on Victor because pretty much his entire family died because of his action, minus his brother Ernest, who is barely mentioned in the story. Irrelevant.
You know, at the end of the day, what goes around comes back around. So Victor should have known better not to try to be God or whatever, because you know that's like a bad idea. Why would you do that? So it makes sense that what happened happened. I think it was Victor's fault. Everything that happened is his fault.
So that's karma.
So yeah, karma came and it did its thing.
Does anyone like to
Disagree? When I say guys, have the Socratic Seminar.
I know what way.
No, we don't even.
I have another question. What's your question for
I think karma applies to Victor as a world creator because he abandoned his creation, which made his creation mad, which came and killed his family. So it's kind of karma that he abandoned his creation, and then his creation came and killed all his family.
Richard.
To me, I find the karma in the story as like kind of a roller coaster because it starts when Victor creates the monster and abandons it, leading the monster to find his son and Justine and killing, and then end up getting them killed, which comes back to the monster because then Victor plans to create the wife but ends up destroying it, which goes back to Victor because then he takes out more of his family, and then it goes back to Victor. Yeah, going. And it's just going up and down like a roller coaster.
Okay, no question. Go.
Next question. Attention. What purpose is served by having Robert Walton tell the story? Wait,
Could you repeat?
Can you repeat that, please?
What purpose is served by having Robert Walton tell the story?
You're good. So I think that if Walton hadn't taken over or inserted himself a couple times throughout the book, there obviously wouldn't be the ending, because after Victor dies, Walton takes over and writes the letters explaining what happens after that. So if we not had Walton in the book at all, then the book would have just ended with Victor dying, and then we wouldn't have known what happens next. So we would have known what he was going to do after that, and it would have left a lot of the book open and undetermined, which, yeah, so the novel would have just ended at a really bad position had Walton not been there. So yeah, it just makes sense that he was there, otherwise that wouldn't happen.
I agree with what you said, but Robert Walton was the one who wrote the story because he took all the notes that Victor was telling the story of. So his notes were the one that actually wrote the story because he sent the letters to his sister. So that's how the whole story was just said to his sister, and all the notes were what the story was.
But Robert Walton's sister, Margaret, what do you think was going through her head? And this, Addison, this is for you.
Well, there you go.
She told you.
You have to.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
She wants me to answer the question. So I think the sister was just thinking her brother was just crazy, going insane, and that this was just him writing while he was just going insane on the sea.
Okay, what is, one more thing about Robert Walton, because Robert Walton signifies what, he's like a, he's showing that it's a cautionary tale. Okay, what is ridiculous, absurd, or paradoxical in the novel?
Oh, there's a lot. Mary Shelley is telling Walton's story while he's telling Victor's story.
Okay, tell them the question. Tell them the question. What is absurd, ridiculous, or paradoxical about the story?
What is absurd, ridiculous, or paradoxical that happened in the story?
You look back on that. Stop doing
I said, what is the third? Wait, what is
anything weird that
happened?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh my god.
Absurd, ridiculous, or paradoxical that happened in the story?
All right, say the question for us one more time, please.
What is something ridiculous, absurd, or paradoxical?
What is something ridiculous, absurd, or paradoxical that happens in the story?
Everything.
The monster being brought to life by lightning.
I hear you.
Absurd.
Absurd, correct. Well, it doesn't say specifically in the book he was brought like alive by lightning. It just says he opened his eyes. That's just something that they put in movies. So, but we get what you're saying.
But he was
But we're talking about the story, not like the novel, not like the movies and whatever. We're talking about the book. So the lightning thing didn't happen in the book. So something else. Try again.
Well, you try. What is something for you paradoxical?
The monster being created in the first place at a dead body.
The monster being created in the first place.
The move that was the movie.
No, it's alive. It's alive.
Oh, it's alive. It doesn't say that.
Yeah, we're talking about the book here, and the creature was just woke up and was standing over Victor while he was dreaming over his mother and mother.
Okay, so now to the question.
So what is absurd in the book? What is absurd, ridiculous, or paradoxical?
Oh my God! Oh, I know that one. You even get this one.
Go run it over.
In the book, it says that Victor had the best jail cell, but in jail cell, it's still a jail cell. So that's true.
And then the nurse hated him.
And the nurse is like a nice.
All right. So basically,
Everybody, hey, guys, let me ask Ms. Feinberg a question. I'm so proud of both of these classes. Ms. Feinberg and you guys demonstrate to me that you have a rather profound, thorough understanding of the text. I'm really excited. Now, I just want to check with Ms. Feinberg. What is your time frame? How much more time do we have for perhaps closing remarks?
We only have a few more minutes before we have to go to lunch, and then they're dismissed from lunch into their next class.
And well, I would like to hear, Ms. Feinberg, since you and I have not been, since this has been a student-led discussion, how do you feel things are going so far?
They are wrong. They're very wrong.
Oh, we're very wrong? Oh, I don't know. I'm wondering about your value system with that the justification of things. Oh.
All right. Excuse me now, everybody. Everybody, hello.
I think it's been
time and we're respectful. Excuse me. We're respectful. The word is respect. We're respectful of each another's point of view and where you have arrived with the novel. Anyway, we are about how much more time, Ms. Feinberg?
Just a few more minutes.
Okay, any closing remarks? I'm going to pass our students will make closing remarks, and let's hear you. Boys, what are you doing? Okay. Let's have closing remarks.
She softened you.
Haley,
I'm just gonna stand.
No, go to your seat. It's a Socratic.
You said you're the smart.
Okay, have a seat. Hey. Okay, ready? Go. Closing remarks. Closing remarks. Your perception. The novel. Was it worthwhile studying? What do you?
Can I say that?
About the novel. It's about the novel.
Okay, can I say our opinion?
No, your opinion.
Oh, you're giving it to me? Y'all don't want to say anything?
No, Kelly wants you to go first.
Okay, so I just want to say I think you guys did very well, and our opinions on the novel are, mostly the same. But I think you guys need to think a little harder on that one topic.
I think you need to bring the evidence because your standard is relevant, credible evidence, and if you don't have evidence to back up an argument, you got nothing.
One at a time.
Well,
No, you have to wait.
this has really become a very interesting debate. Everyone seems to somehow
An opinion is just a belief. It all comes down to facts. Evidence theory support.
Yeah, it's okay. It's been here, but
I can't hear them.
You have to turn the microphone on. Press the
Let me see.
Give it
This seminar, I just want to justify that I think it was right if Victor killed the creature.
What it still doesn't make any sense.
anything.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. Let's go to lunch. Let's hear it for Woodlands.
Okay. Thank you, Bella.
Bye.
Wait.